If
No
I
worries.
blur out and go funny, it looks crazy to me. But
It looks a
anyway,
bit crazy to me, but it's kind of cool. It's fine. You're fine.
yeah, I am
I've got a
here.
huge
It's
skull
just the
behind me.
transmission of me is like out of space.
No, you're so fine. Don't worry about it. I've got a skull that's literally the size of my body behind me, so it's all a bit freaky, but it's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
How are you
Freaky,
going?
swapping freaky. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, really well. And yourself?
very good, very good. Just
Good, good.
moving around, doing lots of music stuff, all that kind of jazz. Sorry, I have a crazy family. If you can hear them, I'm really apologize. But
Yeah, no worries. What have
yeah,
you been up to today?
today I drove my sisters to school. And I had a meeting with my A&R from Sony, Marietta, who I love. And we just talked through plans about a couple of songs that are coming out and press, and told her about this podcast that I was doing it, which is really exciting. And yeah, I'm currently based in Melbourne and I'm home for a few days. So I'm just spending time with the family and trying to get as much time in with my siblings as I can.
Yeah, and that's why they want to spend time with you.
Yes, hence why I had to go and inform them that I was unavailable for 20 minutes, because that doesn't usually happen around here.
Yeah. Yeah, so you've got an amazing backstory and it's sort of hard. Well, I'd love to hear it from you. So how about we start with have you always been musical? I know there's been places you've always lived and things like that, but I'll hand it over to you.
Yeah, well, it could take me a few hours to talk about my backstory, but I'll make it quick and I'll only put the important things in. I wasn't musical. I always loved music and writing. I think I was more into writing than I was into singing and playing instruments, but saying that, when I figured out I couldn't sing, I taught myself how to play the piano, and I played for like 2 hours a day every day. And I was tone deaf, and I don't say that lightly. I would sing around the house every day, all day. And my dad, bless him, is very straightforward and would always be like, Grace, can you shut up? I'm trying to do my work. But I think because I sang so much and I pushed through it so much, there was I remember one day we were sitting in the car and I was singing along. I think it was to Wonderwall. I can't remember what it was, but I remember my dad didn't tell me to be quiet. And he was like, you actually sound really good. And I was like, yes, we've done it. I've got it. And then I just honestly, I sing all day, every day around the house. It's like, it just doesn't stop.
Well, it keeps the vocal cords warm.
It does. It definitely does. It definitely does. I have videos of me, every behind the scenes video of me from a music video. I don't even say things, I sing them. I think you can ask anyone from my team. I'm always like singing what I'm saying. I don't even realize it, but it's very fun. I love it.
You had some amazing people in your life come through and hang out with your family along the way.
A few I don't remember because I was very young. My parents went through their rock and roll phase when I was an infant. But my dad, when I was 1, I remember Bono. I don't remember. I've got a photo of Bono holding me up like I'm the Lion King. Do you know that scene? And they go, Savannah. Yeah, there's a photo of Bono holding me up like that. It's actually above my fridge downstairs. And my dad's best friend, Chrissy, he was her hair and makeup artist.
So Chrissy who?
Chrissy Mvlholland. Sorry, probably be more specific. Chrissy Mvlholland. She was is my dad's best friend. May she rest in peace. And I remember being 5 years old, maybe 4, and she used to tuck me in or put me to bed when I would stay with her, or she would stay with us. And one day she was like, I'm going to teach you one of my songs and I want you to sing it for your dad. And she taught me to sing I Touched Myself. And I remember I would sing it to him and he was just absolutely mortified, but he found it more funny than horrifying. And I think that was the first. She was definitely, I wouldn't even say she was an influence. She was, as a musician, she was more of like an influence as a woman. She was so strong and so powerful, and she had her own lane and, you know, created every path for herself. She didn't really follow in anyone's footsteps. And I found that really inspiring, whether it be with music or with, you know, whatever you want to do in life. So, yeah. Yeah.
What a lovely woman to have in your life, and to have as a mentor, or someone to aspire to be like. And now you're on your own path.
I am. I actually, when she was, just before she passed away, my dad was about to fly to New York to see her. And I just figured out how to sing. I was 12. I think maybe, I was 12. And I recorded myself singing. I touched myself and I sent it to her and just told her I loved her and all that kind of stuff. And that was the last time I spoke to her. So may she rest in peace. I actually have a photo of her right up there on my wall.
Oh,
lovely. Yeah.
Oh. Well, I'm glad that she's touched you in a lovely way, and her memory lives on with you, and she that she's put you on an amazing path, it seems.
She really has.
With where you're going now, I mean, so many beautiful, amazing songs, and more to come this year. So
thank you.
Where should we start? Like, I find that your lyrics are really powerful, as you sort of mentioned before. You focus on songwriting more. So could you tell me about how you approach your songwriting?
Yeah, definitely. I think how I learned to write, I'll start with that. So I was doing acting before I did music, and I was doing lots of auditions. I had an acting agent in LA and I had an acting agent in Australia, and my acting agent here was amazing. Her name's Charmaine, and she was, you know, so helpful and put me into so many amazing auditions and encouraged me. And I was doing 4 acting lessons a week, and I was always getting pretty close, but I never really fit the role. And I was getting really frustrated because I felt like I was trying to fit someone else's mold, and that I found that really frustrating, because it's kind of like, what if you never fit into someone's world? You know, what if you don't fit into the place that they want you to be in? So, and I always thought music was something I love, and acting was something that I'm going to work with. Like, I love acting, but it felt more like a job than it did anything else. So I started writing songs, and I was like, well, I can write stories and I can create movies within the stories. So I can, you know, whether that be a music video or the way the lyrics touch you or the way they move. So I think whenever I go into the studio, I really like to create a movie set in my head. And I'm like, okay, how would this look? How would this be visual to me? Which is, you know, with 83, the music video was before. I had the music video idea before we even finished the song. And it was like I created the whole thing in my head. And the same with Foreign Obstacles. And it just felt right. And I think that's when I realized that music was something that I love, but also something that I could do, instead of acting just being something that I do. So I really invested my time into that. And I think the more I write, the more I learn how to articulate things in a way that creates a proper storyline and a proper kind of foundation for a really good song. So that's what I go into the studio thinking. I'm usually thinking about a music video before I'm actually thinking about the song.
So given that, like, you've got a sort of power for the lyrics, how do you connect that to with your image? Because your image seems to how can you explain those things? Are they different things, or how do they connect
with my music and who I am as an artist?
And then I guess your image reflected in the media and like through Instagram and that sort of thing.
I'm still figuring that out. The whole Instagram within the music. I grew up in Bali and Byron, and I had a lot of friends, and a lot of them are Instagram influencers, and so I was a part of that world. So I'm just sort of retraining my social media into being a musician instead of just a person on Instagram, which is actually, it's, you know, it's hard to figure out how to make it work and how to portray who you are as an artist on this app where no one can actually talk to you or speak to you, because I feel like that's when you actually figure out who the artist is and the way that they are. And I am learning, but yeah, I think it's sort of, actually, I don't know. But I'm definitely figuring it out as I go, and I am getting better, I'd say, at sort of linking the two together, for sure. But it's been a journey with me and my you know, social media team.
Well, you've also got the images that you present in your videos, as you say.
Yes, they're kind of, I feel like they're almost characters to me. Like who I was in 83 was a completely different character to who I was in Foreign Obstacles. And Foreign Obstacles was very personal to me because it was, every image was something that I lived and something that I did in my last relationship, which is now over. But at the time it was very vulnerable. So that, I think that was the first music video that I was sort of like, okay, this is actually me. This isn't a character. This isn't a persona. This is who I am and how I act and how I behave when I'm in love. And that was really, felt very vulnerable, but also really, really good.
Okay. So how do you approach the instrumentation and I guess who you work with as well?
I have a person who's like my music person, and his name's Lachlan Bustock, and he is one of the guys from Mansionair.
Great band.
Amazing band, an amazing guy. He's such a good guy, and I think that's why it's so easy to write with him, because whenever I talk to him, I feel like I'm talking to, you know, a journal. Like I feel so open and honest, and it's so easy for me to be like, hey, I'm really depressed and really anxious and really upset. Can we write about it? And he'll help me articulate my thoughts into a way that resonates with people. And whenever we go into the studio, we always set the goal, or it's usually him that sets the goal. And it'll be like, for example, with But I Like It, 83 was a one-off. I don't even know. We didn't even listen to references for that. We just started playing the guitar and wrote the song in like 3 hours. But I Like It, we were like, okay, let's do the song in 2 time signatures, because he'd never done it before. And I was like, I think I'd only been writing songs like professionally, properly for about 3 months. I didn't even know what 2 time signatures meant, but I was like, yeah, let's do it. That's exciting. That's fun. It was the hardest thing we've ever done. And there's a video of me curled up in a ball, just with my head in my hands, just going, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. And then with Foreign Obstacles, we made a whole song out of sounds that I made. So from my voice and from my vocals. And so I think with us, we've got a really, really good kind of groove when it comes to writing music, and he always keeps it interesting and always keeps it different. And I think that's what makes it so easy to write songs with him, is it doesn't feel repetitive. And I think that's where people can get really stuck, is when it starts to feel like they're writing the same thing over and over again. And I know I've had that when I've been with different producers and they think I want to sound a certain way and they all make me sound the same. And I'm like, no, I need something different. I can't listen to myself sing about an ex-boyfriend from when I was 17 anymore. It's like, I can't do it. So he definitely is a really big part in the songwriting process and how we make the music.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
It's always great to have a guy.
Definitely. He is very reliable. I'm glad I have him. I don't know what kind of music I'd be making if I didn't have him as a reference. So it's really good.
Great. What advice would you give then on songwriting? Considering
what was I given, or would I give?
No, advice would you give?
Okay. I would say definitely only write things that you believe in or resonate with you, because you're going to be the one singing them and speaking them to the world. And if you don't believe in them, then it's not going to resonate with people in the way that it would if you did. So if, I write a song about something that I love and I'm passionate about the song, you can hear it in the words and in the tone and the texture of the song. Whereas if I'm singing a song that, it doesn't mean anything to me, that I wrote with 20 writers about a random situation that had nothing to do with me, it doesn't come across in the same way. And I think I really feel that because I'm such a researcher when it comes to lyrics. Like I always, as soon as I find a song I Google the lyrics, I Google the writers, I Google the story behind it, all the meaning. And I think that makes me love the song so much more when it's genuine and when it has a depth to it that, you can't really match. And also just write as much as you can. Like I wrote as much as in 2019, just before COVID, I think I wrote like 40 songs in 2.5 months, something ridiculous. I was just like smashing them out. Haven't done that since COVID because it's been so temperamental, but I think I'm about to get back into it. So that's really exciting.
Great.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, me too. Me too. It's been too long.
We've had the singles. So what is next is Foreign Obstacles an album teaser? Or
right now we've got something coming very soon, which is really exciting. It's sort of like a part of a project we did within Sony. And after that, we've got another single, which I think, and my team thinks is the best single yet, which is quite a hectic song, but it's definitely my most raw and real one, and that we're all really excited for that to come out, and that should be out really soon. We're all planning it and the visuals and the way that we're gonna put it out. So that's the next thing, and then we'll talk about the album, the EP. Well, one step at a time.
Ooh.
That's the next step, and then the other ones I can't see.
Yeah. So have you got any expected dates or anything we can lock in?
I think there's a song coming within the next 4 to 5 weeks. I'm pretty sure. I might have to double check on that one with you. And then there's another one coming out in about 2 months, which is the big boy, the big one, which I'm really, really excited about, and I hope people resonate with and like.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're amazing. I love that you put effort into your songwriting, and that it's not just a crazy love tune that you wrote when you were a bit angry or anything like that.
Well, there are a few of those. Definitely they creep in. You don't think they will. You think you're all indie and authentic and wholesome, and then you get angry and bitter, and next thing you know, you've got a very mean song on your hands, which let me tell you, it's not fun to tell people that you wrote a bad song about them. But I think I started writing mostly about my dad. He went through a really bad breakup when I was 12 with my stepmom, who he has 2 other kids with. And I think that was kind of the only way I knew how to talk about it and explain it in a way that wasn't offensive and wasn't, like I was attacking anyone. It was just me getting everything out. And so I mostly started writing about my parents and their love and, what they went through, and then about other people that I knew. And then I had my first heartbreak when I was 17. Oh, that was so bad. And that was when I started writing about myself. And I was like, okay, my life's interesting. I'm 17. I've been through something. I can start. But I think learning how to write about other people made it a lot easier for me to kind of expand my songwriting, because I didn't have it. It wasn't all dependent on what I go through. It's a lot easier on myself. I don't feel like I have to, do something crazy and break my heart or break someone's heart to get a song out of it. I'm like, oh, you did this, cool, I'll write about it. Or like I've been in the studio with producers before and asked them questions like, you know, what happened with you? What was your breakup like? What was your relationship with this person like? How do you feel about this? And then I'll just write a song about that instead of myself, because I have nothing going on at the time. That's pretty much it.
Oh, well, they're great singles. I can't wait to hear these songs. It's going to be awesome. Do we have any live shows? Can we come and see you play?
As soon as I do have them booked and planned, you will be the first to know. I will personally get an invitation out to you. But I just actually did a tour with the Rubens. So I've done that was my first ever tour, and props to those guys. That was a hectic tour. They did so many shows for so many weeks and did such a good job. So, and I'm really grateful they had me on and, you know, supported me and brought me along with them. And so that was my first and most recent and last for a little bit touring stint. And right now I think I'm just focusing on writing, but seeing as I'm living in Melbourne at the moment, you never know, you do get calls last minute asking you to do this or that. So hopefully there will be something very shortly, but until then I have no idea.
Well, how was it being on stage and touring, supporting as well for the first time?
So not gonna lie, I hated singing live, like with a burning passion. I got so uncomfortable. I'd cry. The first time I had to sing live, I fainted and then I threw up and then I had to get on stage. Like I just used to get the worst stage fright, which is crazy because I loved it in high school, got out of high school and was just so insecure and so scared. And I think being on tour with those guys and watching them live and how they move and how they, you know, interact with the crowd really taught me a lot. And doing shows back to back, I just got used to it and I stopped caring. I was like, when am I going to see these families from Orange again? You know what I mean? Like I was in Wagga Wagga, I was in places, I was like, I don't know these people, they're not judging me, they're just here to see live music, so I'm just going to give them the best show that I can because that's what they paid for and that's what they're here for. So I think once my mentality changed from being they're staring at me, they're judging me, they're watching me, they think I'm bad, they think I sound weird, I was out of pitch, I was out of key, to just like, I'm having fun, they're having fun, it's fine, just laugh it off. Like if you do something wrong, just take it one step at a time, the world will not end. Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Oh, great. And that's great advice too. It's 101 with Grace today on her story.
Music therapy with Mvlholland. Here we go. Just kidding.
All right. Well, I might let you go see your sisters, but after this one important question.
Yes.
So without any prep, notice, or anything, what would be a song you'd like to request on her story?
Oh, okay. Wait. I'm having a complete mental blank right now. Whoa. Okay. No, I can figure this out. Give me As It Was by Harry Styles, because I'm in love with him and he's amazing and it's a great song.
Okay. All right. We'll let Harry know and expect
send him my love.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm sure he's listening.
Yeah, 100% watching over me. Definitely. I love you, Harry.
Well, thanks. Thanks for your time, Grace.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So we'll get this cleared out of the way. Grace Mvlholland, your stage name is Mvlholland.
Mvlholland with a V. Mvlholland with a V.
So, thank you for your time and have a great day, and we'll be waiting on that invite to come and see you soon
It'll
and hear
come.
those new songs.
It'll be there. Thank you
Awesome.
so much for talking to me and taking the time
Nice.
to Zoom call. And I'm sorry for all the chaotic noise, but I really appreciate it.
No, there wasn't any chaotic noise in the end.
Okay, I'm really grateful because there was some screaming about 10 minutes ago. So that's good. It's really loud.
Oh, it's all good. You're just loved.
I am loved.
There's nothing wrong with
It's
that.
the eldest. It's always the eldest. All right. Well, I hope you have a lovely evening.
Thank you. And you too. Enjoy
Thank you
yourself.
so much.
Enjoy
Lovely to
Byron.
meet you.
Oh, lovely to meet you too.